na nimepoteza mtu ambao angesimama pamoja nanyi. Nataka kuambia kitu moja. Mimi nimesimama, nitaenda mpaka mbele. Ile vile serikali iko, vile serikali imeendelea, ile wizi ambao inaendelea, ile.
Well, this is presidential aspirant David Maraga being heckled in Nyamira yesterday during the burial of Catherine Nyamato, who was the first female MP from the Kisii region. Well, in case you're asking yourself, why was David Maraga heckled in his home county? There are two answers to this. One, that the Kisii region or the Kisiis are sending a message out that no one will divide us, that we have our own and we believe the other person and not David Maraga. You see, first, people are so happy that with the oppositions coming together and each region producing one candidate, like let's say the Western region, the Kisii, the Central, the Coast. So people are like, when these oppositions come together, if these opposition come together, then surely this is going to be very easy to sail through the presidential election. And so with the coming up of David Maraga, it just shows that the votes from the Kisii region will definitely be divided. And this is something that people believe that maybe Maraga his intention was not to vie, but rather to play someone else's politics. And two, before David Maraga even made it public or made it official that he is going for the top seat, there were claims that David Maraga is Ruto's project, that David Maraga is being planted to divide the Kisii region votes so that all Kisiis won't follow Matiang'i and put their votes in one basket. These were the claims that really trended for long on social media platforms and all that. And also, remember Nelson Harvey, the lawyer, is supporting David Maraga. So with all these issues combined together, people feel like, nah, wait a minute, this Maraga guy, is he truly into it, or is being planted there to disrupt the votes from the Kisii region? So yesterday he was heckled, and I think that this is one of the moves that Maraga didn't expect, or this is one of the public approach that David Maraga never expected that it is going to come this early, or rather is going to come from the Kisii region. So maybe he might take a step back and maybe consider, because I'm seeing online people are saying that he should consider joining the other opposition team led by Rigathi Gachagua. Others are saying that he should form a coalition with Busia Senator Okiya Omtata. I don't know, that is the decision that Maraga himself knows that if it is going to benefit his presidential ambitions or not. But as at now, there is this feeling that many Kenyans, or some Kenyans, feel like David Maraga is not there to go for the top seat, but he is there to serve Ruto's purpose. Remember that just 2 years ago, David Maraga was given a job by President William Ruto. So we have Kenyans who believe that 2 years later, you cannot abandon a man who gave him a job. So going forward, it is going to be a hard task for David Maraga, because first thing first, he has to do all what it takes to ensure that the tag that is Ruto's project is being docked completely, because if he fails to do that, or to ensure that that tag is not following him everywhere, then it is going to be not an easy campaign for him. And so and maybe he should consider coming together. I know that maybe these are two people from the same region, and I'm talking about Matiang'i and Maraga, with a different vision, but maybe the Kisii region are sending a message to him that here we just want one person. We cannot have two kingpins. And so maybe yesterday's event was like to tell him that what he's doing is wrong, and that maybe he should consider Matiang'i as his brother, and the two should come together and speak in one voice. You see, our politics is dirty, our politics is brutal, our politics is rough, and we cannot rule out. Maybe these were people paid to heckle him so that he can drop his presidential ambition. It can be the state, or it can be the opposition. Either of the two teams can do that, so that Maraga can see, no, it is not going well, and maybe I should join the two teams. So you cannot rule out that maybe these 2 or 3 people who are making noise were maybe sponsored by the opposition or by the state. You cannot rule out that. So for David Maraga, I think you should know that this is not, you see, is coming from a corporate kind of environment. He's not so used to this kind of politics. You see, I know how we Kenyans know how our politics are. Inafikaga mahali you hear your stories on social media, the propaganda all over about maybe your wife, your children, and you're like, what is really going on? So we are not yet there. But I think that this is what Maraga experienced yesterday is a wake-up call to him, and I know it is going to serve him positively, because you see, this is a man who just come from an environment whereby he was the Chief Justice, so he could just order the lawyers, the advocates, the courts to do 1 or 2, and they do that. So he's going and to participate in a thing that is usually with so much resistance. Politics has so much resistance. It's not something that you sit and order and then it happens. You go. Some will even throw things at you, stones at you. Some are going to heckle at you. So it is a very rough road. It is not something that if you're not ready for it, especially our politics, it is going to be difficult. So for David Maraga, I believe your followers, I believe that you have what it takes that to take this country forward, to move this country forward. And Kenyans are saying that we are so tired with the politicians. We want someone from a different professions to vie for the presidency. Well, we have good numbers of people who believe that we no longer want to go with the politicians past the 2027, that we are going to drop all of them and we have to move this country. This country must be built by people who are not politicians, because politicians are moved by money. If Ruto says today that is going to capture a certain number of MPs, they will go. As long as there is money, they will go, because for them it is all about their interest. Once their interest is taken care of, they are good to follow that team. That's why we have a very useless National Assembly, because it was captured a long time ago. It was about Ruto's money, and it was easy to capture the National Assembly. That's why they're just passing bills in favor of President William Ruto and not in favor of the citizens of this country. So for David Maraga, that is just one step into politics, but I believe that your vision, and will continue to preach your visions and your missions and all what you are going to do once elected as the next president of the Republic of Kenya. And we have Kenyans who believe in you, and the yesterday event is not going to cut you off, and it's just one step ahead of just understanding our politics and all that. So that is it from me for now. Thanks for watching, and this is the Sophia Live. That is it from me for now. Thanks for watching, and this is Sophia Live.